Season 8 has just launched for the finals, and with it comes a huge influx of balance changes, quality of life updates, consoles getting mouse and keyboard support, and thermal visions disabled and more. So I'm going to fill you in on what's changed at the start of Season 8. If you do find this info helpful, then please consider leaving a like and subscribing, it really does help the channel. Most important thing on everyone's mind is the two new weapons that have been added to the game. They are in fact the P90 SMG for the medium and the BFR Titan revolver for the heavy. The P90 is a 50 round SMG, which is primarily a close range weapon rather than playing at distance like Pike. Up close it absolutely melts anyone you're near, but as soon as there is a bit of distance, the fall off for the weapon is like firing a pea shooter. So do keep that in mind when you're going onto maps like Kyoto or Fortune Stadium. BFR Titan's a high caliber revolver with a 5 round chamber. This thing does insane damage at all ranges. It does have quite a slow rate of fire and the reload speed is really slow. So I'd suggest jumping into the practice range, lining up your shots and getting a good feel for the weapon before taking it into a game, as missing 1 or 2 bullets can cost you a fight. Overall, I think they've done pretty well with both weapons this season. Along with it, they've added a couple new sights for all the guns as well. And yeah, sorry lights, there are no new weapons for you this season at the moment. Next up, they've actually managed to add an instant replay option to the game. So this will play on the death screen and shows you exactly who killed you and how they did it. I think it's a perfect addition. If you pay attention, you'll be able to get an insight into, is it your playstyle or were you just caught off guard? So making sure you're looking at your kill cams and seeing how you died will definitely make you a better player overall. It does ideally want 16 gig of RAM, and for those who do use systems under 16 gig of RAM at the moment, it will not automatically be enabled, and you can toggle it on in settings, and the same goes both ways, you can disable it too. Just a quick note as well, I don't believe the instant replays on Team Deathmatch at the minute, so if you are on TDM and wondering why it's not working, then that's the answer. I don't think it's turned on there at the moment. Another exciting change is they have added a match recap at the end of your games. It breaks down how you perform throughout the round, and it also gives you ratings and scores on each category like kills, revives and objectives. Those ranges I believe go from like S, A, B, C and so on, so you get a good feeling of where you're lacking, where you're performing well at. It is a nice little feature as it is animated as well, rather than just staring at a completely still screen, so good job to them on that one. Full mouse and keyboard support has now come to consoles. So people on Xbox and PlayStation, you can go ahead and enjoy yourselves now playing with mouse and keyboards. No doubt aim assist will automatically be disabled when it detects mouse and keyboard. Dematerializer has had a big change as well to kickstart the new season. Demat charges have actually been dropped from 3 charges down to just 2. And also instead of the wall just opening immediately on use, they have now added a slight delay. The wall will glow bright blue and give an audio cue before opening to allow others on the other side a bit of breathing room to see you come in, so that should make fights more engaging all around. I think this will definitely mix up the meta going into Season 8, as that 1 extra charge can make a huge difference, especially players at the higher ELO side of the game in the minute. People may struggle trying to escape melee characters now with a slight delay before the wall opens, so if you're getting chased by hammers or riots, I'd imagine if you activate it a tiny bit before normal, you should be fine then. Next up, they have also added a grenade indicator as well. So now when you throw a grenade, you'll see a red pulse coming from it to give you a bit more time to react to live grenades. Apparently it's been a big request to get this added for some time, but I don't really see any benefit on this one. You do get plenty of audio cues. The game's had a complete overhaul and rework on the destruction as well this season by adding what they call smooth destruction. This is meant to make the destruction more realistic in the game when objects such as cranes drop onto ceilings or suspended structures fall and crash into houses. And another little side note on this, the crane wrecking ball has had a buff as well. They've increased its damage from 10 to a whopping 75. So if you do see anyone in the crane trying to slap you with the wrecking ball, you know why now. Kyoto's had some rework this season by adding a few extra jump pads around the map. Buildings now collapse into connected chunks of debris that are easier to climb and traverse. And they have changed interior and basement layouts. They've had a complete rework too. From what I can see, the slight rework definitely allows it to make basement fights a lot more enjoyable and a much better experience all around for everyone else. Monaco has had a rework to its suspended structure map. They've completely changed it, now it lines up closer to the style of the structures that you see in Bernal rather than the small little ones. They've also added an extra structure or two in the map as well in certain areas. On all the suspended structures as well, you will now see they're covered in sponsor advertising. This further just makes the arena look like a game show. It's a nice addition in my books for that one, so that's a big W. Halto are back this season and a brand new sponsor, Trentilla. Trentilla is an agricultural company which mentioned their trademarked tiger fruit, so we may get another wave of fruit and vegetable themed gadget skins in the future. Players who took the Halto sponsor last time will get access to the level 2 rewards if you select them for a second time going forward. There's been some changes to the tutorial of the game, like teaching players how to use specializations, and there's also been some new dummy challenges in the practice arena for you too, one of which is trying to defend your cash out from waves of dummies trying to steal it. As well, faster boot up times also come this season. They say they've added background shader pre-compilation, which means now the game client boots up much faster whilst the shaders finish compiling in the background once you're in. So you should be able to get into your lobby quicker, start customizing, inviting your friends. It will just continue to load the rest of the game as well in the background. Earrings have been added to this season. You can now equip earrings for your character model. If you go into the skin store, you should see a pair of gold stud earrings for free to get you started as well. They do add a nice little effect and more customization to your character. Also, effects are being added too, so if you bought specific skins such as Ned or the Deep Sea Diver bundle that's just come out for Season 8 too, you'll unlock things like the bubble effect, the lightning effect that came with Ned. You will also get a red fire skin that comes off your character, which is included in the ultimate battle pass as well. So you will get your first one there. I think it's around level 20 or 25 or something like that. Terminal attack has been removed from the game, and in its place they've added head-to-head as a full-time mode going forward. Team Deathmatch now has Bernal added to the map pool as well, so TDM is on its way to Bernal. A new round of Twitch drops is here to get things started too. In it you'll get an APS turret called Abby, some Rusty Spring earrings, and a new sticker as well, all of which is completely free. You just need to watch a Twitch streamer with drops enabled to claim those 3 free rewards. Onto the main thing people are waiting for, it's the balance changes. Firstly, the H+ Infuser has had its healing decreased from 15 per shot down to 14. A slight nerf on this one, nothing too serious. I still believe it will be in a good position as a viable gadget to bring. Thermal vision has actually been turned off at the start of the season. I personally hate the whole thermal smoke thing. I just thought it was cheap. But how do you feel about them turning this off? Let me know in the comments if you think this is good or bad. Guardian turret has had a cooldown reduction from 40 seconds down to 35, and the cooldown on retrieving the turret is down from 20 seconds to 17.5 seconds. So a slight buff on the cooldown time, but no changes to its actual damage output. Heal beams had a big buff as well this season, as they're increasing its healing from 40 HP per second up to 46. It may not sound a lot, but when you look at the figures, it has actually had a whopping 15% healing buff on it, which is absolutely crazy. I'm so glad they're showing some medium some love this season. Winch is feeling the pain again this season by starting off with a nerf. They've increased the cooldown when missing a target from 7 seconds up to 10 seconds. And they have increased the cooldown when successfully hitting a cash out station or player from 14 seconds to 18 seconds as well. And they have also increased the cooldown when hitting all other object types from 7 seconds to 14 seconds. So a big nerf there for the winch to start the season off. 50 akimbos have had a slight reduction in damage fall off minimum range, giving the guns a slightly shorter effectiveness, and they've decreased the fall off max range slightly as well. CB01 repeater has had a buff. They've increased the damage on it from 84 per shot to 88, as well to bring it back in line with other weapons, as a lot of people genuinely pick the pike over the repeater anyway, so a slight buff on the repeater over there. Dual blades, slightly buffed, they now allow you to start sprinting a little quicker after the second or third attack animation, between 15 and 25%. So after hits 2 and 3, you can start sprinting a little quicker now than you could before. LH1s also had a little damage buff, increasing it from 42 damage per shot to 44. Only a slight tweak, but they have struggled to find a happy spot for this gun for many seasons now, so it does an extra 2 damage per shot. Pike is next on the chopping block this season for a nerf. They've decreased the damage from 50 to 48 per shot. They've decreased the fall off minimum range. They've increased the damage fall off multiplier from 0.75 to 0.8, meaning the weapon now does slightly more damage at range as opposed to close quarters. They've also changed the bullet dispersion when hip firing by making it bigger, especially when you are crouching, so this will make the weapon less accurate when not aiming down sights. So now you won't get as many people just hip firing at an arm's width away from you, which I think is a nice change. Riot shields have had a few tweaks. They've changed the minimum and maximum speed of attacks and lunges, nothing too serious. They've also made some changes to things like rendering, private matches and spectators, and performance and stability. A few changes to matchmaking as well, and as well as things like the UI and the VFX. But apart from that, those are the main things that have come with Season 8. As I said, if you found this video useful, consider leaving a like and a subscribe, and let me know what your thoughts are on the changes. But until then, I will catch you next time.